Have you ever noticed the person who speaks the least is often the most respected? Not the loudest person, not the most aggressive person, but the one who remains calm, observant, and silent. Because in the next few minutes, you will understand something most people never realize. Respect is not created by what you say. It is created by what your nervous system communicates before you ever speak. Before words, before logic, before conscious thought, the human brain is already evaluating you. Not your intelligence, not your opinions, your stability. Human beings evolved to detect emotional certainty as a survival signal. The calmest nervous system in the room becomes the reference point, and the reference point becomes the authority. People do not consciously decide to respect someone. Their subconscious nervous system aligns itself with whoever appears most emotionally grounded. This is why panic spreads instantly, but calm spreads even faster. And the individual who remains calm while others seek approval becomes the psychological center of gravity. But most people unknowingly sabotage this process. Carl Jung called it the shadow. The shadow is the part of your psyche designed to protect you from social danger. Its purpose is not to make you powerful. Its purpose is to keep you safe. Safe from rejection, safe from judgment, safe from exclusion. So when you enter a social environment, your shadow begins scanning for threats. It detects uncertainty and pushes you to reduce that uncertainty by talking, explaining, and proving yourself. It convinces you that speaking more will increase your value. But the opposite happens. Because authority does not emerge from seeking validation. Authority emerges from not needing it. And people detect this instantly, not logically, but biologically. Silence creates informational asymmetry. When you constantly reveal your thoughts, your intentions become predictable, and predictability reduces psychological influence. But when you remain silent, your mind remains unknown, and the unknown creates tension. The human brain is wired to focus on uncertainty. It allocates attention toward what it cannot fully predict or understand. This is why mystery commands attention, and attention creates influence. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He wrote that powerful individuals reveal their intentions selectively because the moment you reveal everything, you surrender strategic advantage. But when you remain silent, others begin projecting their assumptions onto you. They assume intelligence, they assume confidence, they assume control, not because you demonstrated it, but because your silence allowed your subconscious to create it. Silence forces others to reveal themselves, while you remain protected, and the individual who reveals less always maintains the advantage. There is another mechanism operating beneath awareness, the nervous system hierarchy. Human beings subconsciously organize themselves around whoever appears most emotionally stable. Emotional stability signals safety, and safety signals leadership. When someone speaks excessively, reacts quickly, or seeks approval, their nervous system communicates instability. But when someone remains calm, still, and observant, their nervous system communicates control. Control becomes interpreted as authority, even if no words are spoken. This is why the individual who speaks last often carries the most influence, because they were not reacting, they were observing. Reaction signals submission to external pressure. Observation signals dominance over it. Most people never develop this ability because their shadow fears invisibility. It fears being overlooked, so it pushes them to constantly prove themselves, to explain, to justify, to validate their existence through communication. But authority does not emerge from explanation. Authority emerges from certainty, and certainty does not require constant expression. The moment you over-explain, your nervous system signals doubt, not through your words, but through your emotional state, and people detect this immediately. Presence is not created by volume, it is created by emotional regulation. When you stop reacting impulsively, your authority increases. When you stop seeking approval, your presence stabilizes. When you become comfortable with silence, your nervous system stops leaking psychological energy, and people begin orienting toward you automatically. Not because you demanded attention, but because your nervous system signaled stability. Stability becomes magnetic. This is the paradox of authority. The less you attempt to control how others perceive you, the more control you naturally gain.
Because true authority is not performed, it is perceived. The next time you enter a room, observe carefully. Notice who speaks immediately, and notice who waits. Because the individual who waits is often the one with the most power. Not because they said something impressive, but because they did not need to. And once you understand this, your presence changes.
People will feel your stability. They will sense your certainty, and they will respond to you differently. Not because you demanded attention, but because your nervous system signaled something deeper: control. This is the paradox of authority. The less you attempt to control how others perceive you, the more control you naturally gain. Because true authority is not performed, it is perceived. The next time you enter a room, observe carefully. Notice who speaks immediately, and notice who waits. Because the individual who waits is often the one with the most power. Not because they said something impressive, but because they did not need to. And once you understand this, something changes. You stop chasing attention, and attention begins moving toward you. You stop proving your value, and people begin recognizing it automatically. Because presence is not something you create, it is something you allow. And the moment you master this, you stop being ignored, you stop being overlooked, and you begin becoming someone others instinctively respect. If you want to understand more about how your mind shapes your reality, subscribe now, because most people will never learn this, but you just did.